What's up, guys? Check, check. Bonafide Hustler here.
Raking profit.
Retro aficionado.
And last but not least, the college picker.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Green Room Hangout number 7, and today we're going to be talking about Destination Thrift Trip, which should be really cool. I am the Bonafide Hustler. I reside in Austin, Texas. I flip stuff I find from garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, flea markets, pawn shops, swap meets, and I put it on places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, my antique mall, and consignment stores in town. That's what I do, and I'm also one of the admins of the Green Room. But I'll toss it over to Rake and Profit.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Steve. I'm also one of the admins of the Green Room, or you could just say I'm the staff, as Chris likes to say. But I'm from Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut, and primarily selling on Amazon FBA right now. Do a lot of Kindle publishing, YouTube videos, all that cool stuff. Really cool to be on the show tonight because I'm actually on the first day of my thrift store trip, which is going to last 32 days. So we'll get more into that, but let me pass it on to CP.
What's up, guys? My name is Eric. People know me as College Picker. I've been doing a lot of Amazon FBA over the last actually 2 or 3 years, more focused than anything. I also run an Etsy store, and I've been getting into this thing called OfferUp, if anyone else has heard of it. And I'm going to pass it over to Young.
Really? How's that working out for you?
It's okay.
Okay.
Young.
Oh my gosh. Yes, retro aficionado. I live in San Jose, California. Pretty much do it all. You know, antique booth, eBay, FBA. Yeah, and eBay's 20-year anniversary is coming up on September 10th or 11th. I'll be there. So if you guys are watching and you guys are attending, let me know. We'll hook up.
Well, I'm not attending, but Young, my guess is you're going to be periscoping from the event. Yes or no?
You know what? I haven't even thought about it, but yeah, I'll probably do it.
I want to see you in a sea of resellers. That'd be sweet. All right, real quick, you can find me at YouTube Hustler. You can find Rakin at Rakin Profit on Periscope. Yeah.
Yep.
Rakin did like 2 or 3 broadcasts today, so the frequency of our live broadcast is pretty high. College Picker's not on Periscope, and I think Young definitely is at Young J Chong, right?
I'm on Facebook.
Yes.
At Young JAECH.
Yeah, and I put that in the chat here.
Okay, cool. So follow us on Periscope. Really, just follow me because yeah. Anyway, well, it's good to have everyone here. So now you've just met the admin staff, and today you're going to be hearing about our adventures on the road. And me, for example, I haven't done a thrift trip yet, but I've done like a hybrid style of a thrift trip, where I go somewhere and picking is like, you know, number 2 priority on my agenda, but I still bring stuff home. But thrift tripping basically is the art of actually going across America or places, funding the trip with stuff that you find along the way, and actually thrifting as your primary objective along the way. So we'll let that was probably a pretty bad definition of the whole thing. But College Picker, why don't you give me a really good definition of what you think a thrift trip is?
Thrift trip is taking you. I mean, you already defined it. It's an art form. You already said that, and it is using your vehicle in a completely different way than it's ever been used before. Packing things a certain way, figuring out how to turn your car into a shipping annex, a storage facility, sometimes a hotel, and also a vehicle, all at the same time. You got to figure out how to take pictures if you're doing eBay. Like, you got to put all this stuff from your house or your storage unit and jam it into your car, and kind of keep it organized and sane.
How many thrift trips have you done so far?
I've done that one big one, but I've done a lot of little like micro ones here and there. Like every time I go to Austin, like I'll probably stop here and there. But dedicated thrift trips, I think I just did that one big one.
Okay, and that was a gigantic one too.
I think I was on the road for a couple of months. It started out just thrifting, but then it ended up me just like bumming around.
Okay, and you basically thrifted across America, correct?
Yes, started in Florida and ended up in Washington. So that's like the farthest away states possible of the continental.
Okay, cool. Now we know that people like Young haven't done the across America kind of thrift trip, but you do these other like 3, 4, 1 week kind of trips, right, Young?
Yeah, I mean, when I first met you, I drove out there, and so yeah, I usually, last year I used to do more. I used to like literally like once a month. I used to leave town and go on these thrift trips. This year I haven't done much, but yeah, I mean, I'm actually gonna do one here Labor Day weekend though.
Oh, cool. Where are you gonna go?
Um, I was thinking up north, go more towards the Humboldt, Eureka area.
Oh,
So
wow. So you're gonna go to the very northern part of California. You're not gonna try to do the Portland or Seattle kind of thing?
no, I'm not gonna go that far.
Too far. Okay. All right. So Rickon keeps dropping in and out. Probably. So, like Rickon said, he's on his very first day of his thrift trip. My suspicion is that he's at a hotel, and this is one of the things we're going to cover today. But the logistics of everything is sometimes, and College Picker, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can't predict Wi-Fi strength, consistency.
No, not at all.
None of that
I mean,
stuff.
I didn't even stay in hotels when I did mine. I was like in people's houses or in the car or something. But yeah, he's gonna be very lucky if he gets back in here because Wi-Fi at hotels are awful.
Yeah, usually they're pretty bad. I mean, it's gonna be okay to probably do your FBA and stuff, but when it comes to actual streaming video, whether it's Periscope or these Google Hangouts, it's probably gonna be very demanding on the internet, and the broadband's probably not gonna be able to take it, right?
I've never had any problems personally.
Maybe Rakin's going to these really terrible hotels. Anyway, we're once he comes in and he's settled, we'll ask him. Young, CP, let's go into the chat. Let's see who's in there, man. That way we can shout out either our fellow roomers or just some random people that are here from YouTube land, and they just want to learn about
Crazy Christmas 1.
Bullfrog in the Biz. Who else do you see, man?
Let's see, Henry S. Henry S. is a loyal follower, man. He's always in here watching.
He won my contest, by the way.
I see the College Picker.
I see Digger Tex. Digger Tex was at the barbecue, by the way. Sam Kirker. We have Crazy Xmas 1. Yep. I see Nelly Chess. I see, who else? Cody Orgill from Australia, if I'm not mistaken. We have Hot Halloween Props. And we have, who else? Mr. Shoe Guy's in there. He was at the barbecue. God's Fave. Yeah, so there we go. Dan Ironman. So yeah, Stacy Staggs. Stacy Staggs, actually, didn't you meet up? Hey, College Picker, didn't you meet up with one of our green roomers like not too long ago?
Yeah, it was a couple of days ago. He was rolling through on his. I don't think it was a multi-day thrift trip, but it was just a day thrift trip where he covers a lot of mileage. And he shot me a message because he knows I was in the area. And we got lunch at Panera, and he hooked me up with 5 Nintendo 64 jumper pack covers that I've been missing. So shout out to him for being awesome.
Jumper pack covers, but not the jumper packs, but just
the covers. The covers normally get lost or just fall off.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Pereiro, man. He's a good guy, dude. Chicago in the house.
Awesome. He's always on my Twitter. I see him on there. Okay, and we have Gerson Estrada. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, we see you. Daniel Baker. Hey, what's going on? Before we go into Rakin's a little bit real quick, how many of you guys out there in the comment feed, we got 32 viewers right now, how many of you guys have been on a thrift trip? So if you guys are checking out right now on YouTube, right, and if you don't know what this show is all about, first of all, we represent the Green Room, which is a paid Facebook group that we run. But there's also a live chat feed on the right side if you take a look. So right now, if you're watching this right now and it says live on your screen, it's because you're seeing this. This is not scripted, nothing. We are just putting on a show that we do once a week. But there's actually a chat feed there in the lower right. And you can actually talk to us and ask us questions through there. So we have 4 people on the panel looking at that chat feed for any good questions. So that's where you can reach us. We got Tanya, Thrifty Treasures, and okay, so that's the newest one that came in. Good to see you, Tanya, and Rakin. So day 1 of your thrift trip, you're in a hotel, sketchy internet, yes or no?
Yeah, I already cut out once, so if I disappear, everybody watching, and you guys, it's the Wi-Fi. I know CP can relate, I'm sure.
Okay, so you think you're okay? You look like you're moving around okay right now.
Yeah, it's running okay right now. But yeah, today's day 1 of the thrift store trip. I live in Connecticut, so I'm about an hour out from my place, and I planned it all out. I planned out 32 days from CT. I'm going to be going all the way down to Myrtle Beach, thrifting through Baltimore, Philadelphia, North Carolina, going up to Pittsburgh, through West Virginia, through PA. So I got a whole trip lined up. Today's day 1.
Cool. is one of your goals, and I guess we're going to get through to this part, but I'm going to ask you this prematurely here. Is one of your goals as you find stuff today, and you've found stuff today, if anyone follows Rake and Profit on Facebook, you can just find him at Rake and Profit. He posted a picture today with a bunch of stuff all over the floor. Not all over, neatly arranged. And is the goal every day to make a shipment out? Is that your goal?
Not necessarily, because I mean, if you guys have been following me, you know, like, this isn't all about business for me. Like, this is, like, I want to balance business with health and eating good and lifestyle and having fun. So I wouldn't necessarily say my goal is to put out a shipment every day. I'd say probably every other day would be the goal. But I don't want this to be all about just making money, because if you're just working for 15 hours a day, what fun is that, you know?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, well, some people like it, but I see where you're coming from, because I know college pickers same way, young same way. You got to have that balance. You got to have that downtime. You got to have that time to explore, right? Reflect, improve your life somehow. And usually it's tough to do that self-reflection when all you're doing is grinding all day. So anyway, okay. So let's talk about the very first question, which is a bird's eye view of the whole thing. Like, Young, why even do a thrift trip in the first place? Like, do you not have enough stuff where you live? Or, go ahead.
I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
No, you can cut me off. That's cool. I know how it is. No,
no, go ahead, dude.
No, okay, so I guess my question is, why do a thrift trip? Is there not enough in San Jose? Or is it just like the dying urge that you're like, this is getting boring, but there is enough stuff? What is it?
Yeah, well, it's a combination of, for me personally. So first of all, San Jose, I mean, I can only go to so many Goodwills so many times, right? You know, and I do find good stuff, but number one, San Jose is ridiculously priced. I mean, if you've never been here, you will be shocked at some of the prices that you see. No, it's seriously, you guys would just, it's just ridiculous. But number two is kind of like what Steve was saying. You kind of want to get out of your comfort zone, go to a different area, and just, you know, do work and yet experience life at the same time. And you know, just find new products. You know, find new adventures. I mean, yeah, it's work related, but at the same time, you can have an awesome time.
Okay. CP, what made you? Why did you do your thrift trip across the country? Was there something at the very end that you had to get to, like a friend's house, or?
I just thought of it one day. I was like, man, this would be crazy if we could just keep going on, like, cycling money, finding stuff, selling it, and then keep going and keep going. Mm. I was like, it's probably an awful idea, but I just wanted to roll with it and see how it turned out.
Okay. And then, Raken, for you, it was just like, is there not enough in Connecticut, or is you just a sense of adventure and you're just kind of tired of being there now?
I love going on adventures, and this is something I've been wanting to do for the longest time. And yeah, I mean, it's like a dream that I just never had the courage to do. And finally, I said, you know what, life's too short. Let's just do it. Let's do it. And I got back into Amazon FBA recently and been hitting it hard. And it's the best thing to be able to achieve this is FBA. I've always been an eBay guy. It wouldn't be possible on eBay at all. I think it's impossible if you want to do any real volume. So I got into Amazon FBA again, and it was the perfect timing.
What's your final destination? I think you said Myrtle. So is there something in Myrtle that you are going to?
No, Myrtle's not the final destination. I mean, that's the farthest down south I'm going to be going. Myrtle, I went to Myrtle a few years ago and had an amazing time, and I just, I figured why not just go there, and I'm going to be spending 4 or 5 days there, and I probably won't be picking too much. I'm going to be crashing in the waves, trying not to get eaten by a shark, Oh, jeez. But I'm actually going up to my final destination. My real final destination is I'm meeting up with Dave Koziel, which is another YouTuber, and I'm going to be spending a week with him in Pittsburgh. So that's pretty much the final destination right there, and then I kind of just mess around coming back home.
So if you stay with Dave Koziel, then adios all the hotel fees, right?
Yeah, and adios the sketchy Wi-Fi.
It's pretty cool, man. I saw College Picker smirk for a second there, so I think I know what he's talking about too. Okay, so let's talk about the very first thing, CP. You are going to trek across the freaking country, and what's some of the things that you had you had a Scion XA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it was outfitted with, I think, A skybox or a roof? It was okay. What was on the top?
I don't think I had the skybox at. Oh yeah, I did have a skybox
Yeah,
at
you
that
did.
time.
Yeah, you
I
did.
did. I had my first skybox. Yeah.
Okay, so tell people what a skybox is and what did the top of your car look like?
A skybox. It looks like people mistake it for like a canoe or a coffin, but it does not look like a canoe if you actually know what a canoe looks like. But I've had people ask me if it was a surfboard or if it was a canoe. Not if it holds surfboards or if it holds canoes, but if it was a surfboard or it was a canoe.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But it's a clamshell car topper that basically increases your volume by like 12 cubic feet or 9 cubic feet or 20 cubic feet, depending on like which model you get. And it's weatherproof, fairly aerodynamic, and gives you just a ton more storage space.
Okay, and then what did the back of your car look like? Did you have a rack there or no?
I have a hitch, but I didn't have a rack at the time. I picked one up, I think, somewhere in Florida or along the way.
And for people that don't understand this, a rack for bicycles typically, right?
Yes, bicycle rack.
Okay.
Oh, I
Okay.
might have had a hatch one on. Hatch bicycle
I
rack.
think you had a hatch one. Yeah.
Yeah, I might have had a hatch one.
So people might be thinking, man, these guys are, going around the country or traveling across country in like Sprinter vans and like Econolines, but no, you went in a Scion XA, which is a very small car, right?
It's a subcompact. Steve, what are you riding right now?
I'm rocking out in a Hyundai Sonata 2012.
Okay, so that's at least a
Large trunk.
four, right?
Yeah, it's a four-door in the trunk.
With a trunk. Yeah, that's like a normal size.
Yeah, I saw that. By the way, I saw that grease on your back seat raking in your video.
Yeah, man,
Someone's
that
not
was
protecting his back seat from those.
I know, man. One time you don't put a blanket back there, it just goes to shh.
It's a word that rhymes with hit. Okay, Young, and you are in a. What are you driving, Young?
A Subaru Outback. Love it. 2007 Subaru Outback.
Okay, and then when I did my I guess I drove out to Charlotte to see Whitney's parents, and then thrifting was number 2 on my agenda. When we did that trip, I was in a Honda Element, which actually is kind of a big car. But anyway, and I don't want to call it SUV because it's kind of like a car. It's kind of anyway. Okay, so let's talk about the business prep before you leave. So you have your car outfitted CP. I remember you coming to Austin. You had a lot of things that I saw in Rakin's video, for example. So CP, there's a couple things that you had to prep for before you left. Was it food? Was it a printer? What did you put in your car?
Printer, scale, and tape, I think, is all that I brought.
Okay,
A
Rakin.
laptop, of course. But dude,
laptop.
I was not prepared. I've learned so much from this experience. I was not prepared. I would do it completely different if I
Okay,
did.
Rakin has like an Alacrity. What is that thing?
He's
That's
got
a
barcode
barcode
scanner.
scanner.
Is it made by Alacrity or no?
It's a no-name brand.
Yeah, that's the third-party one from my YouTube video.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rakin, scanner. What else? Give me 2 more things.
I'm just looking around, man. I got a shrink wrap, tape measure, Scotty peeler.
Scotty peeler. What's that?
I think I had a tape measure. Yeah, I did have a tape measure.
The Scotty peeler,
That's not a tape measure.
it's about this size, and it's got a sharp little blade at the end, and it gets it digs the stickers off, the Goodwill stickers off of the books and
That's
stuff.
what it's called, a Scotty pillar? What?
I believe it is, yeah. I believe it's a Scotty peeler.
Is this like carriage versus like cart kind of thing?
No, I think this is it's like a term that was.
Can you get it and show it to us? It sounds like something from Star Trek.
Yeah, let me see.
Okay. While he's doing that, pick it up right there, Young. What else are they missing? What did you put? Not that they're missing, but what did they leave out?
Tape gun, printer, laptop, scanner. I know he said that. Scanner is optional. Let's see. Cardboard boxes. Normally, I don't buy void fill, but if I go on the road trip, I will buy void fill.
Okay, tell people out there what void fill is, because not everyone knows that term. I know what it is, but what is void fill?
Basically, when you package your products to ship them to FBA, not everything's going to fit perfectly in a box, so you're going to have empty space. Void fill is either like bubble wrap or paper that you fill in and pretty much just fill in the void of the box.
Cool. That answers Dan Ironman's question right there. No bubble wrap or paper fill, but you just said it. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Rakin's got some. I know CP.
I got newspaper.
Okay, and then CP was bumming off me and just random people, right? Or just how are you doing your void fill?
I think we were. I
I
think we
think we
just bought it. I think we just bought it from a UPS store. I think.
maybe.
One
Okay.
thing you guys can do as well, and I just purchased one, is you can get a box cutter that'll resize the actual boxes. So if you're good at being able to fit the items within that box, you could take a 16 by 16 by 15 box and you can, cut it down 25%. Because a lot of times you'll just have the wrong size box and you'll have to put in so much void filler newspaper. It's just a waste. So I invested in one of those. Also, this is a Scotty Peeler, www.scottypeeler.com.
Oh wow.
Right
Okay.
here.
So it's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to look like. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's just
about,
like a marketed plastic like fingernail.
pretty much, but it's really thin and it really digs in. It does a really good job, and it'll save your fingernails for sure and a lot of stress. Also, one thing I want to show you guys that I purchased is one of these. So that thing kicks out. And
Is that dolly?
Yeah.
Oh
And
my gosh.
it's really
Was that a
small,
tip from
too.
Flana Claus?
No, it wasn't. It was actually from a book that I read. I was doing some research before the trip, and there was a book on it was a Kindle book I purchased on how to travel and do like retail arbitrage. Although what I'm doing is a little different. That was a cool little tip I got from that book. It was like $40. So instead of me breaking my back bringing the boxes down from the hotel, imagine if you're on the third or fourth floor and your car's out a bit. You just throw it on air that has a 160-pound weight max, $40. I mean, great investment right there.
Well, with Steve, I mean, yeah, that's a great. But also, when you check into a hotel, always ask for a room on the first floor, specifically for that reason. Always ask.
Yeah.
Well, I'm using Hotwire, so I'm getting a really great deal.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can use Hotwire, but just call in advance after you make the reservation. Say, hey, I just made reservations through Hotwire. Can I get if available?
Okay.
And to
I
this
didn't know
day,
you could do that.
I never had a problem getting a room on the first floor.
Yeah,
All
tell them
the-
like your knee's bad or something. They'll be
No,
like,
that's a great tip. I thought it was just
Yeah.
like
No.
Cold
As soon
cut
as you
and
make
dry.
the reservation, just call the hotel directly and say I made the reservations through Hotwire. I prefer a room on the first floor. And to this day, I've never had a problem.
great idea. Thank you.
Okay. Let's ambush these questions real quick. Some people are talking right here. Okay, there's hold on. Oh, there was one question about raking, and it was just basically, hey, this is from Ballet Picker. Did you ever consider starting with a small trip? Like 31 days seems a really long time. So, what do you answer to that, Rakin?
I mean, I've gone on like small trips. Once a year, my mother and I, we go on a thrift store trip and we do it all out. So, I mean, I've done 3, 4, or 5 days before, but I'm a go big or go home kind of guy. I mean, I wanna do something that's like, stretching my comfort zone. I want to do something I'm not sure that I'm capable of doing. And I don't really know how I'm going to do this, and that's what I like. It really blends with my personality.
Okay, this is from Cody Orgil in Australia. Is it illegal to sleep in your car? I might do that. CP.
Yes, it is illegal.
I'm not a lawyer. You cannot take legal advice from me. But I have no idea if it's illegal to sleep in your car or not. I know they have rest stops for a reason, and truckers sleep there. I know there's gas stations for a reason that truckers sleep in. And I know there's like a whole community of people that live in Walmart parking lots. And I think Walmart allows it because they want you to keep buying supplies from them. So.
Okay.
I just met a guy recently.
I'm sure it's legally or by county or by state. So
I met a guy who
doubt
lives in his car. Yeah, he just does it by choice, and he has a whole van with everything. And I believe it's legal. I mean,
it's probably up to the county or the state for like a homeless law or something.
And just to kind of touch base on that, I think you can sleep in designated areas, but from my understanding, and at least here in California, you cannot sleep in your car. But one great tip that I received years ago from one of my friends is if you absolutely do have to sleep in your car, and CP, I shared this with you, find a local church and park in the parking lot, and no one's ever going to mess with you. I've done that. I've done it several times. I would pull up into a local church, and no cops, or no one's ever messed with me.
Yeah, no one wants to commit crimes on the Lord's land. So
Yeah,
it's
no, seriously,
pretty safe.
It's to this day.
I've camped in church behind churches a bunch.
Yeah.
Okay. Dan Ironman, do you typically make more money on a big thrifting trip rather than staying home and hitting your regular spots? CP.
Absolutely. Like, the more virgin stores I can hit in a day, the more money I'm gonna make.
Okay, so I guess the question was, if you could see new stores, you think you'll make more money, or if you see the ones that you already know and you already know your route and everything, would you make more money that way? See what I'm saying? You're going to new, unpredictable places rather than places you know, routes you know, traffic times that you
I
know.
do I do well when there's stores that I've never hit before.
Same here. Same here.
Okay, all right. Um, Here we go. Virgin stores. Dan Ironman just heard that. Okay. Um, all right. I think Margaret's here. Texas Gal
Hi,
Treasure.
Margaret.
What's up? Good to see you. And yeah, we're at 45 viewers right now. Hey guys, if you wouldn't mind, if you do like this topic, first of all, and want cool topics like this for the other Green Room Hangout shows, the best thing you can do is hit the like button down below. And it's not one of these Periscope things where you break your fingers like a bazillion times and you have hurty fingers, but you hit the like button one time and it just shows support without even putting a comment or anything. It just shows us like, hey, I'm listening, I like this topic. So take a second out of your time, hit that like button down there, and we will continue doing Green Room Hangouts. So, okay, here's Crazy Christmas 1. Yes, new stores, always more money. Your mind is a piggy bank. Okay. All right, let's go into the next section really quickly here, which is routing and logistics. So, Raken, you said that you organized 32 days of thrift trip, right?
Yep.
And so, did you research these towns and the thrift stores, and that's why you're going to them? Like, are these like thrift-heavy towns? Sounds like you said Philly, right?
Yeah, Philadelphia.
And what's another big one that you were going to go to? Boston?
Richmond.
Okay, Virginia. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's got to be a big town with thrift stores and pawn shops everywhere, right?
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, to answer your question and jump a step ahead, absolutely. I tried to go where thrift stores were. How did I find out if there was a lot of thrift stores? I went to the Goodwill store locator. I just typed in thrift store for different cities and whatnot and saw what popped up. But mostly, if you're in the city or near like heavy population, you're going to find the thrift stores. Like recently, I was in upstate New York. There wasn't a single thrift store. Excuse me one second. Yeah, got to pass it on to somebody else.
Room service.
Room service. Housekeeping.
We have your apple pie ready for you.
We have some fresh towels.
Housekeeping, here's your bubble wrap. Okay.
But also, just to also chime in, I personally use the app Yelp. So whenever you're in a different town, just open up your app Yelp and then just look up thrift stores and it'll list all the local thrift stores in town.
Okay. That's good. What about pawn shops and stuff, y'all? Actually, we'll get that to CP. CP, what about pawn shops? Do you hit pawn shops when you?
I wasn't pawning on that trip, but when I travel now, I do.
Why didn't you pawn on that trip, man?
I didn't pawn. I hadn't gotten into pawn until I think that year after that trip.
Pawn shops. Whew, I've been missing out on money for years.
Man, come on now. I've been telling you guys about pawn shops for like decades. I'm just kidding.
But there's a strategy to it, though. There really is. It's different. It's not what people think it is.
Harder to pawn shop, but when you hit guaranteed, and it's usually low rank. Usually.
For the pawn shops, you have to put more money up front for a more valuable one item a lot of times than a thrift shop where you're putting out like $1 or $2 to get something that's less valuable. So.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things. Like when CP was here, and he was thrifting at this pawn shop, he surrendered like $600 on a camera that had super low rank that could have sold just body only. For
I bought the same one today, dude. I ended up getting that camera, that 70D.
Oh,
70D or 7D?
70D.
Okay, I got the 7D.
Oh, okay.
What did Reagan get? A better one or
70D? No, 70D is worse.
How much did you sell your camera for?
I'm using it for Etsy.
What's that thing worth though?
The body I think is worth about $500.
Because this body's worth about $800.
Really? Let me see. 70.
Yeah.
It might be the newer one.
This body is priceless.
And it had an 18 by 135 millimeter lens. Like literally, I got this thing for $550. They wanted to do $650 last time I saw it.
Yeah, that's a good deal. That's a good deal.
Yeah. Wow.
Cool. Are you gonna resell it or are you gonna use it?
It's already packaged up, man. I just gotta label it.
And test it out, charged up and everything?
Yeah, it's perfect. Works great.
That was pawn?
Yeah, it was the same one I was asking for your advice for, and I was gonna pop on it for $650 a few weeks back, and I passed on it, and I came through today with cash, and they took $550.
What's the what's the rank of that 70D?
About 270.
Oh, that's great. Cool. That'll sell probably within a week.
Yeah, they'll probably sell it in a day.
What's the spread on it though? Like sellers, what's the spread?
What do you mean by spread?
Like what's the
The cheapest is I'm on it right now.
I'm gonna sell the body by itself, and I'm selling the lens by itself. So I think the body FBA is going for like $790.
Okay.
Dude, you keep talking about selling your body, man. What's wrong with you?
Okay, Mr. Shoe Guy says the 70D and the 7D are both legit. And he said send them both to me.
He knows what he's talking about too, because I saw the shoe guy when we were at the bridge with the bats. He had a legit setup. He was taking.
Yeah, I think he has a photography background too. So yeah, he knows.
You've seen those leather shoes? They're amazing pictures.
Yeah, it's true. In fact, when I was like looking at some other shoes, like sold auctions at Goodwill, I came across a couple of his pictures of some. I forgot what the brand was, but I came across his pictures, and I was like, oh, I know those pictures. Those are his. So anyway, okay. So routing logistics. So he researched through. Okay, so Young says Yelp, and Rickon's using the Goodwill site to like kind of figure out where everything is. I guess. Do you end up doing more research once you're in the town itself, CP?
I find the first Goodwill, and then I ask the employee for a list or recommendations. I go with local source because who's going to know the area better than thrifters in that area?
Okay, good. So let's talk about logistics with the hotel. Do you always try to book a hotel in advance, and what is advance? Is it a day? Is it a week? If Reagan's planning this trip for like 30 to 32 days, I guess I need to talk to him. But like, did he buy all his hotel stuff up front, or are you doing it on a whim, kind of like Santa Claus does? Reagan, answer that one.
I did it about 20 minutes before I went to the hotel.
Okay. Do you think you're getting a really good deal if you do that, or you think you get a better deal if you do it beforehand?
I mean, I took a lot of John's advice, the Resell Rabbit, because he went to like 40 states. He said the best way to do it was to just book it like a half hour or so before you're going. The thing with whatever the app's called, what's the app called? Hotwire. You have to book it before midnight. So I mean, I just booked it. The cool thing with the app is you can see like the stars, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star. You can see what people say, read the reviews, the prices. I mean, I got this hotel for about $95. I could have got other ones for $40, but I knew I had to have decent internet. I wanted to go swim and work out today, so you can get them really cheap. I think it's a lot cheaper than just calling in. I mean, I went on a trip like a month ago. It was like $150 a night, so.
So let's see your room. You said 90 how much?
It was 95. I mean, it's a small, simple room.
I wouldn't pay more than $10 for that room.
Yeah, man. Well, you're cheap, but.
Can we see the bathroom?
Everybody.
Let's look at the bathroom, Rick.
Oh, the bathroom's a mess right now. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Check my Periscope, man. Check my Periscope, and you see the full tour.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll look at it. Make sure you go into the restroom with that next time.
Hey,
go ahead, Young.
well, I was gonna say Cody Orgio had a question earlier. He was asking about expenses such as hotels and stuff. All that is tax deductible. And I guess, look, you need to talk to your own CPA. But my personal CPA told me that in the business of being a reseller, you cannot write off meals. I've heard other resellers saying that they write off their meals. I don't know. I'm not a CPA, but everything as far as mileage, hotel, they're tax deductible. My CPA told me that meals aren't tax deductible, so I don't know. Talk to your own CPA. So.
Okay. I would hope that a $95 room would be tax deductible. Okay. So let's talk about. So he gets it on a whim. CP, when you were crashing at hotels, did you ever crash at hotels, or did you just crash at rest stops and all that kind of stuff? Like, CP,
we really like crashed. We kind of muscled through to our destination and then stayed with people.
Okay. And it was you and Ethan, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. And so you stayed with people, or did you ever do couchsurfing.com? What did you do?
We did couch surfing once, and that was an awful experience.
Is it because the
But
couch wasn't what the couch?
no, it was just the host was a professional couch surf host, so he just like expected us to pay for all of his stuff,
Mm.
all of his meals, and drive him around town and everything. And we just wanted to thrift, and he's like, "No, we got to go try this place and get this beer." And I was like, "Okay." Oh, I forgot my wallet at home. You got me right.
Oh, wow.
That's pretty funny. Okay. So none of that stuff. Let's talk about the gym hole. So okay, so the whole gym thing. If you're into active lifestyle, Raykin found a hotel for $95 that has a gym integrated in there, so he can wake up early in the morning and get his workout on. My guess. CP, how did you keep active? Did you do skate parks, and what did you do, man?
At that time, I don't think I was working out at all, so I was just flipping through items at thrift shops to work out my arms.
Okay. And Raykin, did you specifically got that hotel because it had amenities? It had continental breakfast. It has a gym, right?
Yeah, it included the breakfast, the gym, pools, all that good stuff. So
What kind of breakfast, though?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a smoothie fruit kind of guy in the morning anyway. So I mean, it didn't really matter to me. I didn't have much selection. That's one thing you'll notice too. Sometimes for one given reason or another, I mean, you won't have a lot of hotels or a lot of options. So I only had to choose from like a few. So.
Did you bring your blender or juicer with you?
Yep. I did. I brought my Ninja
Really?
blender. Oh, absolutely, man.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. That's like the most important thing in like starting your day off right. I'm telling you.
Are you sourcing all the ingredients wherever you are at, or did you bring a bunch of carrots with you?
No, I mean I brought a big bag of dates, but that's about it.
Dude,
I'm
dates
just-
are like the highest thing on the glycemic index possible. Just
yeah,
so
but
you know.
it's all natural. You can't have too many of them. But it's
Oh,
great for you.
You might be able to have too many of them.
I've never seen anybody ever get fat off fruits and vegetables. Name one person.
Um,
I don't think he meant fat. I
figure it
think he
out.
just
I'll
meant
figure it
like
out.
high.
Yeah,
high
but have you
glycemic.
ever seen somebody get diabetes off of fruit? No. The doctor will say, "Oh, it's the fruit," but then they're plowing down candy bars and pizzas and Chinese.
No,
food
I don't. Yeah,
items.
it's not because the fiber inhibits the uptake of all the sugars too. Like the fiber
Yeah.
helps with the digestion.
Exactly. It's Mother
Yeah.
Nature.
so you're rocking dates on the road, yeah?
Yeah, got a bag of dates, man.
Are they pitted or not pitted?
They're pitted. You got to pull the pit out.
Okay, cool. Are they Medjool?
Yeah, I believe they are. They're
Okay, good.
sweet, super sweet and soft. They're like little caramel bites of love.
Any chance of maybe periscoping these dates?
Probably, man. I'll probably periscope a smoothie one of these days.
Okay, good. Just want to know. Do you put them in your smoothie?
What's your deal with these dates, man? If you want me to send you some, just ask.
No. I'm just saying. Do you ever put them in your
If you
smoothie?
want me to, have you
I'll
ever
take
had
the
a date?
dates.
Raykin.
Hey, stop talking about Steve's date.
I have trouble getting dates, so I need Raykin's dates. Okay. I expect to see your Periscope, Raykin, just so you know. Okay,
Right
so
after that.
gyms you can either be close by. I've always wondered, how do you do a thrift trip? I mean, if I do a thrift trip, I want to do it kind of like the surfing way, which is like, maybe sleep in the car a couple times and this and that, which is cool. I like roughing it like that. But also putting myself in towns where I know like 24 Fitness would be, I can get a workout on. Plus, I can go shower in their showers. Plus, I can use all their stuff, right? Basically. But that's one of the things that a lot of surfers do. A lot of surfers, when they want to get showered up and stuff like that and travel up and down the coastline, they get like Gold's Gym memberships, for example, like in California. So it's a way to do it. A lot of surfers that do it, and they do surfing trips, right? It's not thrift trips, but it's essentially the same thing. They got their van. It's usually an Econoline or something like that, and they kind of put a raised surface in the middle of the van, so they put their surfboards under these plywood stuff, and then they sleep on the top part, and then they have like sometimes a little gas stove. But it's really cool the way they do it. I've always wanted to do that, but with the advent of FBA, it's really cool. Maybe I can actually do that plus thrift on the road. I think it would be totally sweet. But I would have to get a bigger vehicle for that. Okay, so let's talk about now processing and handling the stuff from the road, like in a hotel room. CP, how easy was it to like process FBA or eBay stuff on the road? Like, did you find it kind of challenging, or what was going on?
I wasn't doing FBA at the time, which I really wish I would have been. It was extremely challenging because it would just be a bunch of eBay stuff thrown in the back. So it might be like at the bottom of the pile or it might be at the top of the pile. So we had to find out where it was at and then find boxes for that specific item rather than just a big FBA box, and it was a mess.
So, like what? Okay, let me ask you this. The what was it? Where was I going with this? Okay, so someone buys something on eBay, right? And you are in, let's say, Albuquerque, right? But you live in Tampa. How does that kind of work? Someone buys it on there, you just ship it to them from wherever you are.
You change your shipping from not address, but just the zip code. You can do that on eBay, and they'll calculate it from that zip code, and then you'll just send it on its way, and it'll keep your same return address.
Okay, cool. Okay, good. That clarifies
But when you do eBay, make sure you try to do like 5 or 3 day auctions to get rid of the inventory faster if you're doing auctions.
Okay, cool. Good. Were you ever doing merchant fulfilled at that time?
Yes, I did do some merchant fulfill stuff.
Okay, cool. And how did that go versus eBay? Was it just like eBay was better?
Awful, because I had to package every item individually, and it was just a headache.
Okay, so you didn't like it. But you know, recently when you've come down here, I mean, the past couple times, I mean, it seems like the last 3 times, you've been doing FBA out of my garage using all my stuff, but that's okay. But FBA is definitely the better way to go. It's a lighter load inside your car, right?
I'll bring you a roll of tape next time I roll through it.
No, I'm just saying.
My stuff.
I'm just kidding, dude.
I know.
Joke. But yeah, I mean, I think FBA is one of those more liberating kind of ways to source these days, where you can actually have a semi-clean car, not get super stressed out, and still sell things as you go. Like you can ship things off, right? But I think the things that ends up staying in the car are things maybe you're missing a game for, like some controller, maybe you're missing a cover for, or those little things for the Wii Fit boards, those little carpet cups, or maybe you're missing something. But usually that's the only thing left in the car after a couple of days, or just things that you need to fix. Or Raken, do you anticipate things in your car not selling, or what would be a reason why would something you wouldn't ship something off and it just stays in your car, for example?
I mean, I have some games and stuff, and like I have a Nintendo 64 console that I'm just keeping so I can test things out, test out games and stuff, and different random things like that. I guess if I was missing something, or maybe I had like today I had like a really big item that I wasn't sure, like I didn't know if I had enough boxes to ship all this stuff out. Like as you can see, like on the bed, I mean, I have all this stuff prepped out that I need to ship out, and I had one item that was just really big, and I only had 4 boxes and a few small ones. So I was thinking to myself, maybe I'll just put that back in the car and wait till I pick up some more boxes and just send it off for the next shipment.
Okay, but you're going to be keeping your eyes on that thing, always thinking about it, right? Like, I need to get this thing out of here. That's a very important thing.
Yeah, I don't want to keep looking at it. I want to get it out and open up more room for new inventory in new towns.
Okay, cool. We have Mr. Shoe Guy saying it might be better to use a library, maybe for the internet thing. Library memberships are free, and so is the internet inside the library. That's pretty cool. Thrifty Treasures, you could use.
I disagree with that.
Hold on. Thrifty Treasure says you can use an outlet to plug into your car if you had to for a printer, because Cody Orgil was asking, are there any printers that work just off batteries, no cords? And I think what he's getting to is, are there Wi-Fi battery-powered printers out there to where it's just ready to go, like on a whim? CP, what do you know?
There are battery-powered printers, actually. They're called mobile printers. Canon makes one, HP makes one, but they're pretty pennies to buy. You're probably going to spend $200 plus another like 60 or 70 or $100 for the battery, and it's not worth it to me to get a printer that takes a battery that I'm just going to have to find a plug for it anyways to charge it up every once in a while, when I could just print all my stuff at the same time, when I could just get an outlet from like a McDonald's or something.
Okay. Raken, what kind of printer did you take with you?
I've got
an exact model, but like, is it a USB with or is it wireless?
It's USB. It's a brother.
Oh, looks like a brother. Okay.
Yeah, it does the job. Also, one thing I want to say too is, I think Yarn touched on this. You can get a power inverter for your car.
Yeah,
to be able to like charge things and like more powerful things that like would normally just like blow your fuse. Like you can get a power inverter. I have one in case I need to like work on my laptop, or even like set up a printer if I wanted to.
Have you tried the printer? I'm very, very curious because printers draw an enormous amount of electricity from even a house to where when my printer kicks on, the lights dim in my house.
Whoa, whoa,
So-
whoa, whoa.
What kind of printer are you using, man?
You've never noticed that? I wanted to see people in the
Never
chat.
noticed.
I want to see people in the chat because I know other people have experienced
That's
this. When their
crazy.
printer kicks on, I bet a light will dim or something.
I've never
What kind of?
experienced it.
What kind of? Is this
Just
like?
any laser printer, man. As soon as they kick on, it draws way more current. So I'm very curious if
Are
it
you
if it's
living in a barren wasteland or something?
no, just like here, man. I could get a printer right now and I could print something and I could.
Well,
Let me
do
try.
it. Do it.
Let me try. I have a wireless printer hooked up, so hopefully.
Hey, but I just want to touch. I just want to chime in real quick. So I personally use a Samsung. It's approximately the size of a shoebox. It's small. It's portable. But the reason, and Robert Burns, no disrespect, the reason why I wouldn't recommend doing like a library or something like that is because you can't take in your inventory into a library and start scanning and packaging your stuff in a library. Do it in a hotel room. Again, that's tax deductible. You're gonna get that money back, or you're gonna have that written off during tax season. In my opinion, it's the best way to do it. It's the most convenient way to do it. Yeah, I mean, I know where Rob is coming from, but having to do it at a library is just an inconvenience.
Okay.
I like having the internet where where my items are. Also to look at all the barcodes and the numbers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. I'm sure it's kind of different if you had not a better car, but a bigger car, like an Econoline or a Sprinter. You could probably do a lot of things. You could probably have a swivel chair. You could probably have shelves like, with a little netting to where things don't fly if you take a right turn too fast. You know what I'm saying? Like you could probably have more like a mobile office in one of those places. Now, if you got a Sonata or a Scion or one of my cars, it's probably not advisable to do your work in that kind of situation. But some of these other cars like Sprinters and stuff are, they got built-in inverters and they got all kinds of stuff already ready, for you to basically take your business on the road. So think about that. They even have windows that are completely darkened, like limo tinted out, so people can't look into your car. They have windows where it's just filled with, it's not even a window. It's just it used to be a window, but they filled it with a metal sheet. There's all kinds of stuff that you can get. You can get those things custom made, by the way. So, okay. So we just talked about processing and handling the business from the far place, which is basically the hotel, far away from your own office, obviously. This is one of the most interesting parts, and this is what I really wanted to get to. So, and then first, let's get to the comment feed and see what's going on. We got Mr. Shoe Guy and Texas Gal Treasures are talking to each other. Bullfrog in the Biz, what's up? Stacy's tags, my old HP LaserJet would almost kill my room. I had to move it to another room and get a wireless printer adapter. Okay. So it looks like only one person in the USA has this issue like you do.
No.
Just so you know.
It's a lot of laser printers. They draw a lot of current.
Like I said, man, there's like 1 billion people in this world. Now, how many people know it? 6 bill? How many people?
It's closer to 7 now, I think.
Okay, what do you think in the USA? 1 bill?
I think we are at 1 billion.
Okay, so basically you and Stacy Staggs managed to have the only printers in the USA that draw a ton of power. So that's cool.
Oh no, we're not at 1 bill yet, but oh well.
Okay. Let's talk about. Oh, this is gonna be good. I can't wait. I know College Picker is gonna.
Okay. Does your laser printer dim your lights? Like this is at a tech forum. Like it's very laser printer makes lights flicker. Home improvement. Laser printer cause lights to flicker. Garden web. It's a very common thing searched on Google. So it's not like just us.
Okay. All right. I somewhat believe you. Okay.
I'll bring the printer to your house.
Is that site endorsed by Yelp by any chance?
It's Google.
I don't trust anything Yelp says. Okay.
I don't trust Yelp either.
You don't need to read the reviews. You just want to know where their thrift stores are at.
Okay. Hey, whatever. I think Raken was mentioned in a review somewhere back in the day. Weren't you in a Yelp review somewhere?
I don't know.
No, I swear. Like someone's like, I even bumped into Steve Raken at this Goodwill or Savers or like whatever. You were in a Yelp review. I swear.
That's awesome.
Okay. So, anyway, I think the person gave it a really high rating too. So not only did they get the thrift, but they get to meet you, and that was when you were in your clothing days. But anyway, that's pretty cool, man. Okay, last thing. which is the learnings from the road. This is going to be really exciting because I know College Picker is going to echo in on one part here. So let's talk about broad. What works, what doesn't. Raken, you're 1 day into it, okay? What's working and what's not working? What are you like, oh yeah, that's awesome, it's so much fun? And then what's the one part you're like, damn, I already don't like this. What is it?
It's a lot of work. I mean, when you go out sourcing all day long and you get 50 items, I mean, it's a lot of work to prep them and to take all the stickers off. And, you know, I still have probably an hour or two left tonight, and I didn't think I was going to be up this late today. So, you know, you gotta realize that if you hit the streets hard, there's going to be a lot of hard work behind the scenes as well. I guess that's the only downside right now, but I mean, it doesn't have to always be like that.
So the fact that this is occurring on your first day, is like tomorrow, for example, are you going to only touch items that are just so much better than what you bought today? Are you going to, I mean, how are you going to tweak this? Because obviously you're not going to want to do it every single night. Like
a lot of my items are super profitable today since I was going to pawn shops for the most part. I don't think I'm going to tweak anything differently yet.
Okay. Okay. I mean, is it like I'm not going to pull the trigger on anything that needs to be tested? It takes a day to test. Like.
Oh yeah. Like me, like I lose my patience really quick when it comes to testing out electronics and stuff. And that's just me personally. I know College Picker, he loves it. I mean, seriously, he probably has dreams about like testing things out and like seeing if it works or does it.
I just got a brand new multimeter and I'm so excited about it.
Exactly, my point you just made. But yeah, like today something. I bought some cassettes, some cassette players, and I didn't have batteries on me. That was a mistake. Bring batteries next time with me.
That was one of my other questions. Like, do you have a battery kit? Because I know I would have bought one.
Yeah, I have it, but I left it in. I didn't have them with me, and I was just like, whatever. It was $2 each, and when I got home and back to the hotel and tested it, both of them didn't work. So, yeah. I try to stay away from like electronics that need heavy testing too.
I got a trivia question for the room. What is the most in the small electronics world? What is the most used flat battery? What's the model number? CP, do not say it. I know you know it. I know it. If you hustle electronics, you're going to know this. What's the flat battery? What is the code to the flat battery? Don't look it up, CP. It starts with CR, just so you know. Okay, but I think CP knows exactly what I'm talking about.
It's the same one that like glucometers take too.
This is in so many things, including bike lights and everything. But
yeah,
we'll let the people in the comment feed answer that question. Okay, so what works? So what works is that you've successfully put down day number 1. Basically, like that's worked, right?
Almost. I still have quite a few things to do, but it's almost in the bag. We'll say it is for the cause of the show.
Dan Ironman has the right answer at 2032, which is followed closely by 2025. So that's cool. A CR 2032. If you're going to be buying flat batteries, I urge you to buy the 2032. At least get them off eBay real cheap. You can get like 10 for like $6 or something like that. Real cheap Chinese ones, but they are found in a lot of things, including even calculators, like the backs of calculators. They're the memory battery, correct, CP?
Some Tamagotchis, I think, take
yeah,
it.
Tamagotchis. God, there's
watches.
So many things, dude. So many.
It's like a pretty standard.
Yeah.
How many volts is it, huh?
3 volts. Is it a 3? What is it?
It's either 3 or 3.5. I can't remember.
Ooh, I was so close, man. And I've messed with those so many times that I've just took a guess. Okay. Let's go to the next thing.
Volts.
From your long trip, CP. Well, no, we'll go to Young first. Young, from your most recent thrift trip, what worked and what didn't work? What were you like? Oh, that was awesome, and what were you like? Not again.
Gosh, I mean, you know, I can't really answer that question because I'm always prepared. I mean, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I can tell you what I personally do. Like, so we
don't want to know what you personally do. What did you like about the thrift trip? Like one thing you really liked a lot of, and then one thing you like, okay, that didn't work. Like I'm not doing that next time.
One thing that I always like about my thrift trip is the fact that I always find good inventory.
Okay.
But I mean,
what's one thing that annoyed you, and you're like, I'm not again. I'm not gonna make sure that happens on the next one, basically.
I can't even. I've always had a good experience. I would tell you this though. When I go on my thrift trips, I don't ever source for FBA. I mean, I'm sorry, for eBay, because I don't want to come back home with merchandise. I always want to process my inventory from the road. I don't want to. I mean, unless it's something just remarkable that I have to get for eBay, I don't want to come back with anything. So that's one thing that I would say is, I whatever I source on the road, I process on the road, and I don't want to come home with anything except for the stuff that I took on the road with me.
Okay, cool. And then College Picker, and also another question for the room: what is the most common 35 millimeter testing camera? Okay, battery. What is the most popular battery for testing 35 millimeter cameras? What's the code for that one? That goes out to the room. And Mr. Iron Man, you cannot answer that one because I know you're going to get it. You obviously know your battery stuff, but CP knows this one as well because this is just for Raken. This is for Raken to understand. Raken, you see these numbers that are popping up in the feed? These are batteries that you ought to order from eBay. Okay, if you get a chance. 2032, 2025, and then maybe 2430s as well. 2032 has to be your number one. That one is just. But there's another one coming up for the 35 millimeter cameras, such as like EOS Rebels and Rebel G, XT, all that kind of stuff, and then like Yashika's. I mean, all those things are running off typically this one type of battery as well. Let's see if who knows it. Anyway, it's an odd little number looking thing, but we'll see if someone gets that one. Okay, here's the one I wanted. Here's the learning from the road that I really wanted to ask somebody. CP, talk to us about theft and the incidence of theft, because obviously you got stuff in your car now, right? You're gonna have, not every single time you stop for a burger or you go inside to check into your hotel room, not every single time can you take everything from your car up to the room with you at one shot or whatever. Inevitably, you leave things in the car because you can't just take everything from the car into your room, then everything in your room back into the car the next morning. So, CP, what do you do about theft? Is that preventable? Have you ever experienced it?
You just reminded me of like a time of my life where I lost a little bit of faith in humanity. I did get my car broken into, and luckily I had my laptop, my camera, all the super valuable personal electronics out of it when it happened, but I had a printer that I had already sold that was getting shipped the next day. That was stolen out of it. A guitar that sold that was getting shipped the next day, stole out of it. Things that I had to, it was a nightmare because you have to message buyers, hey, your item was stolen out of my car. Here's a refund. They just get pissed. It's just a plethora of
They don't care
problems.
at all that your whole life is ruined. They don't care, do they?
It wasn't my whole life. It was just I have too much faith in people for that to happen, especially like in a lit hotel. But my car was very targeted. They didn't take the bicycles that were hanging off of the bike rack, but they took the stuff that was inside the car.
And how much were the bikes worth, in your opinion?
One was probably worth about 400, and the other one, I forget what the other bike was. Maybe like 100.
So what you're trying to tell me is these thieves weren't the brightest. They probably weren't.
No, they are the brightest. Right?
You got to make your car not look like you're traveling. You got to have good tint and park in a higher traffic area. Because I parked kind of like behind the hotel, which was a bad idea. If you park near the front,
Reagan's like, ooh, wait a minute.
But you have a trunk. I had a hatch.
No, I never do that.
You can peer inside of my car really easily. I didn't have any tint at the time, so it was just probably like mountains of stuff in the back that people could peer in and see. It looked like I was traveling. They just smashed the window.
Did you have an alarm system?
No, I don't. Even if I had an alarm system, they would have just taken the stuff and ran. But no, I don't have an alarm system. I do on this car.
They would have taken less things and ran if you had an alarm system.
Probably.
Since your car didn't go off, they basically just probably sat there for like 20 minutes and cleared it out.
They probably took my car for a drive and then put it back.
It goes back to what I was saying. It goes back to what I was saying earlier. Always try to get a room on the first floor and then park your car right outside the window.
That's true too. Yeah, that's
what I always do.
You can take common sense. I don't know. That had never happened to me before. I don't think I'd ever gotten my car broken into or had thought that that would happen. But I guess hotels is very common because they know people are traveling. They have very expensive things with them.
Well, I've stayed in like some of the shadiest parts of the country, and I've just no, seriously. I stay in the hotel.
I believe it. I believe it, Young.
Right, and then I just seriously, I park I say, hey, I want a room on the first floor, and I'll park my car literally right outside the window. So if I hear anything, if the car alarm goes off, as soon as I open the door, I have the visual to my car.
Do you keep the,
And you have your tape gun, you can shoot them.
So you have a car alarm, right, Young? That's a smart thing to do, right?
Yeah. And plus, you just take everything out. I mean, take everything out into the car.
Now, do you like open up the curtains and put a chair in front of the window and just sit and just watch your car all night?
Like a Terminator, just don't sleep. You just That's awesome.
All right. Yeah. Okay. I do the same thing when I was doing the trip across. We stayed in a hotel one of the nights, and yeah, it's like park right outside the freaking door, and we would chain up all the bikes. We would park with the actual bike rack facing the door, like, so if we heard anything, it was like right there. So we didn't bring the bikes inside on that one, but we chained them up real good though, with like multiple locks and stuff. What about NTB or Firestone for a car? Like if you're doing a really long trip, CP, did you even factor that into there? Like, okay, like maybe I should get one of these places and one of these warranty things for my tires that goes across, like roadside protection crap. And did that cross your mind, CP, or you just kind of went?
No, never thought of it. I did get an oil change halfway through, and then on the way back and everything. But
Rakin, did you think about that?
Yeah, I got an oil change. I got a new battery. I got new tires, and I had them check the whole car out.
Okay, good. Oh, so you had someone even check your whole car. I do that on big long trips. Like
yeah, the dealership usually just does like a 16-point check or something like that. So.
Okay, cool. All right, well that's good. So your car checked out perfectly fine. You made sure it doesn't have many miles on it, right?
It's about 50,000. The funny thing is, they said my battery is like shot, and they said if you didn't get this battery changed, it probably would have died on your trip.
Really?
So yeah, that saved me right there. So that's a good.
Did you ask them to pull out the multimeter to make sure they weren't feeding you a line
I'm like
of
you, man. I got so much faith in humanity, man.
I don't trust like anybody, man. I live my life to where I'm not in fear, but I'm like, I protect good things. Like if it's not worth protecting, it's not worth having. My father would always tell me that when I was young.
Eric, what would happen if somebody kind of walked into Chris's cul-de-sac, like a strange person was just walking around?
Oh, he would get on the phone with like the police department.
Oh my gosh, dude, we witnessed it firsthand every time we would get out. Did I lock the front door? Did I lock the front door? Oh my gosh, did I lock the front door?
Dude, I'm telling you, man.
I know this car. I don't know this car.
Yeah, exactly, man. I give people the stare of death like every single day. Like, well, living in a cul-de-sac, you know every car that comes down, but I live at the very end of the cul-de-sac basically, and yeah, if I don't see a car that I know, if I see a car that I don't know coming down the cul-de-sac, I'll give them the stare of death, like as they come down and as they round the thing and come out. I don't care, man.
He's so territorial. He's like a
I know, man.
I like living in a cul-de-sac. It's real safe.
It could be like an old man who's just lost, who's just driving around the neighborhood, like staring him down.
He urinates all over his property every single day to mark his territory.
Gosh.
I'm going to be an old man that can bench like 300 pounds. It's going to be awesome.
What are you, a vegan?
No, vegans can't bench that many.
Ooh.
Wow. Anyway, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Some
Yeah, there's like a vegan bodybuilder on YouTube, I thought.
Yeah, and he's not very liked. If we're talking about the same one. He's making enemies everywhere he goes. He's about to get sued actually from another bodybuilder.
Oh man.
I know. Well, I mean, he's making really really bad comments about somebody. So. Okay, so that kind of wraps up our show right there. So hopefully, if you are, thinking about doing a thrift trip or something like that, at least we've highlighted kind of 5-6 different things to start considering. Whether it was why do it in the first place, down to prepping before you leave, to the tools you must have, for the thrift trip, down to routing and logistics, down to processing and handling, like in the room kind of thing, and then what did you learn from the road? So that was kind of cool. If you do like these shows, Rakin, take it from here. Rakin, if they like these shows, what do they do, man?
Yeah, if you like these shows, hit the like button, show some love. Leave a comment, let us know what you like about them. If you have any suggestions for things that we can do to improve them, leave a comment as well. Share it, like Cody Hawk used to always say. Share the videos.
Share the videos. Oh, he started cutting out right when he said sharing, so it sounded kind of weird.
Share the videos, guys.
Okay, yeah, so definitely share the videos. Next week, we're going to be having a Green Room Hangout on more than likely Thursday night. So look for the advertising on that. It's coming out pretty soon. That'll be Green Room Hangout number 8. And also, if you're in the Green Room, we have a private show slated for Thursday at 8 o'clock. And it's going to be about, it's kind of like the Snapback show, except we're going to be talking about Air Jordans. Well, not we. College Picker is going to be heading up this show. Should be really cool. So if you ever were, worried about Jordans, like how to identify them, how to get all the mystery out of Air Jordans, which ones are the best ones, College Picker is really going to do a good job. He's going to help you guys go from zero to hero real quick on hustling Jordans. So that should be a really cool show. CP, and I think you get some other people on the panel planned out for that one. Inside the Green Room show, join the Green Room. Links are down below and everything, or on any one of our other hangouts. And then Raken, if you want to catch up with him on his thrift trip, because he's gonna. I mean, I know today 3 times already, you were showing finds and you were doing things, right?
Yeah.
So from your car, they can find you on Periscope. How, Raken? Go ahead.
Yeah, you can find me on Periscope at Rake and Profit. And also, my YouTube channel, Rake and Profit, Facebook, Rake and Profit. Pretty much anything Rake and Profit, you're going to get an update.
That's right. If you want to live this ride along, all 31 days of it, you can. And Periscope's the best way to do it. So, Young,
Absolutely.
Periscope, for the people that don't know what Periscope is, and why would someone want to follow any one of us on Periscope? Young, go ahead and tell them what Periscope is. People.
Well, it's us live. I mean, we're there's no editing involved. It's us out in the field. It's raw. I mean, if something crazy happens, you guys can witness it. And it's one of the reasons why I'm heavily on Periscope, because I don't do YouTube, not because I'm against YouTube, but I just don't like editing videos. It saves me a lot of time. And follow me as well, at Young J Chong. I'll, again, add it in the comments, because I'm going on my trip here in a couple of weeks. You guys can see what I'm finding as well. But, yeah, Periscope is fun, man. It's the future.
Yep, and then I'm going to be Periscoping effective tomorrow from a really cool location, so you're going to have to check that out. Follow me at YouTube Hustler. I won't tell you where I'm going. Young knows where I'm going. Well, actually, the admin staff. My admin staff. They know where I'm going. So, yeah, secret place, going there tomorrow. It's going to be number 1 priority is not thrifting, but number 2 priority will be thrifting. Should be really cool. So it's not quite a thrift trip, but it's going to have thrifting involved. It's going to be really neat, vlogging and all that kind of stuff. At YouTube Hustlers, how you can find me. College Picker, you really need to get on. I'll tell you what, College Picker, make us a deal real quick. If you don't do Periscope, will you at least do this other thing for us, okay? You know what it is? Take 3 guesses, man. You get 3 guesses.
If I can't do Periscope, make a YouTube video.
There you go. That was it, man. That's all I'm asking for you to do is just make another YouTube video, man. Get back into it. I'm telling you, bro. You make really good videos. And
I got a project I'm working on right now with my dad. It's not YouTube related, but yeah.
Well, just make some
It's more paint related. I've been painting all day.
Still, man, look what Raken does. He puts all his stuff on the floor in the hotel room, and he takes a picture and puts it on Facebook. I mean, you can do the same thing, and then
I took a picture. I was fixing a TV yesterday. It's on Facebook.
All right, never mind. Anyway, casual picking. Are you going to have a show, Bonafide Hustler, on TV? As of right now, no, but it could happen. So, and I don't say no. It's just that we have to get the ball rolling, and CP and I have to do some filming to get that ball rolling. But we have a very serious person that wants to look at our stuff, and he's ready to pitch us forward. But we have to have a couple more things ready for him. So, but that's why CP is coming back into Austin sometime in September. So we're going to be filming that part. I guess that's pretty much it. There's someone else, Ostex Picker. Hey, Chris, I live in a cul-de-sac, and I never told you, but I work full-time for the DPS. Oh, cool. CP knows where I work, and I'm always watching every single car and person who comes through my cul-de-sac. Peace, brother. All right, cool. So I'm not a psycho. Trust me. If you live in a cul-de-sac, you will start acting like I do. Just believe me on that.
Gosh.
Trust me. Just trust me on it. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And what's the last thing I wanted to tell everybody about?
You said it's pretty much it about 7 times.
I know. I want to say one last thing because this is someone did a poll because one of our last hangouts we had a poll when should we have the Green Room Hangout? The actual seasons. Is it going to be winter, spring, summer, or fall? Now, Raken, take a guess. What most people want the hangout to be, what season most people voted for the hangout?
Oh, the spring.
Yeah.
The summer, I think. Spring or the summer?
Spring.
Spring?
Yeah, it was in spring. So we're gonna have to start hashing that out. If you guys are in the green room and you got some, suggestions on the month, whether it's maybe April or May, for example, let us know so we can start planning that out right now. All right, guys. So that's pretty much it, and we will talk to you on the next green room hangout next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. And see you later. We are out of here.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Peace.